Hello friends, I am Haridasan, President of Retired Railway Pensioners Welfare Associations and also the Vice President of All India Retired Railwaymen's Federation. We have brought a video on 25th of this month intending or telling our members that we are going to bring video in every month in order to highlight the important railway board's instruction on our medical related issues. So after that first video, some of our people have made some suggestions that instead of going for a period of 1 month, that I should release video at least once in a week or within 10 days period of time, and that will be better according to some of our people. So considering this suggestion, we have decided to release videos after a 1 week or at the most after a period of 10 days in the coming days to come. And I believe that after 7 to 8 videos, we can cover the entire documents and their relevant orders of Railway Board on these medical issues. Now, before coming to the important point of our empanelment and private empanelment of private hospitals and about the agreement being signed between Railway Administration and the private hospitals, I will come to some general points related to our medical system and our Ummeed card and all. Now to begin with, as you may be knowing, most of you may be knowing that the central government employees working under central government are having different scheme for their medical or different scheme to address their medical problems. They have different medical cards which is issued to various departments of central government services. Now, for example, for ex-servicemen, there is a system called ECHS, ex-serviceman contributory health system, ECHS. It is basically meant for the ex-servicemen of Indian Defense Department. Now there is another scheme called CGHS, Central Government Health Scheme. It is meant for all the central government employees, like those who are working in Income Tax Department, Customs Department, Port, Airport, Secretariat, and even the staff working at Railway Board at New Delhi is also given the benefit of CGHS. And the MPs, MLAs, ministers and everybody is covered under this CGHS scheme. Now we are covered under RELHS scheme, Retired Employees Liberalized Health Scheme. So whatever benefit we are deriving, we are getting or we are entitled to get is under the scheme of RELHS. Now, though they are all working under central government and they are being given different schemes under different name, the facilities under the various schemes are also differs. In the sense, some of the provisions being provided for RELHS may not be available for CGHS, and what is available for CGHS may not be available for this ECHS, and vice versa. So here I will quote you an example. Now under this CGHS scheme, there is a provision for private ward in hospital as well as the empaneled private hospitals. Now, as you all know, in the Ummeed card, the eligibility for various wards is being mentioned in our Ummeed card. And if you look at that eligibility criteria for getting wards, especially let us take an example of private ward. Now for railway retirees, that means the RELHS holders, those who have crossed 63,100 rupees as their pay while in service are being considered eligible for private ward. Those who are drawing 63,100 rupees while in service are considered for private ward. But in under CGHS scheme, those who have crossed 50,500 are eligible for private ward. So these sort of anomaly, these sort of discrimination do exist in various schemes, and it is abundantly clear from the example which I quoted right now. Now, of course, this issue is being taken up by our All India Retired Railwaymen's Federation at the board level, and we are being told that since money is involved, it requires the finance minister's approval, and accordingly the file is being sent to the finance ministry, and unless it clears from finance ministry, no orders can be issued by the railway board. So our federation is pursuing this matter, and I am hopeful of a positive response from the railway board early. Now the another point which we have to remember is the who are eligible for RELHS benefits. Now the generally speaking, in a larger scope, we can say the employees who have completed 20 years of service, continuous service, are basically eligible for becoming or joining this RELHS scheme. Now this 20 years service is subject to various other conditions also. This 20 years conditions will not be eligible for those who are medically decategorized, or the widow of the employee or who died in harness, and the casual laborers who have put long years of casual service. All these people, in all these cases, this 20 years is not applicable. But however, in a normal case, it's a 20 years basic continuous service is a basic requirement. Now, up to 31/5/2012, up to 31, no, I should say from 31/5/2012, now the scheme is mandatory for the employees, everybody. Earlier it was an optional case, there was an option. Now after 31/5/2012, this case is absolutely mandatory. Employees have no option, the money will be recovered, and they have to have joined this RELHS scheme. And another order from Railway Board recently says that those employees who retired up to 31/5/2012, they can also join this scheme by paying 2 months basic pension. They can also join this RELHS scheme. Now those who are removed from service, those who are resigned from service, those who are dismissed from service are not eligible to join this RELHS scheme. Now, as per the new orders from Railway Board, the family dependent pensioners like unmarried daughter, divorced daughter, widow daughter, all these daughters are not eligible to join this scheme. This order have come recently, but earlier these dependent pensioners were also permitted to join the RELHS scheme. But now board says no, they cannot be joined. They can't join this scheme. But here, when they said that widow daughters, divorced daughter, or unmarried daughter, they did not mention about the handicapped dependent pensioners. I mean, handicapped sons of the deceased employee. So, obviously, it indicates that handicapped son of the railway employee is entitled for pension, and also they are entitled for RELHS scheme. This is how I read that letter. But I think this we can have an argument also on this subject. But the board's order, they specifically mentioned 3 cases. That is widow daughter, unmarried daughter, and divorced daughter. They did not mention about this handicapped son. So, or handicapped son or handicapped daughter. So obviously, I read it as if that they are eligible for RELHS scheme. And now, not eligible, as I said, just told you about that resignation and dismissal from services, they are not eligible. And as I just now told you, that even the widow daughter, divorced daughter, and unmarried daughter are also not eligible for this RELHS scheme. Now, what is the main features of this empaneled hospital? Because empaneled hospital is one of the major part which we have to understand, and that I will come into detail when I am discussing with the agreement signed between railways and the private hospital management. But to understand the things, the empaneled hospital is something we can say it is an outsource of our medical service to private agencies, because it becomes necessary because the railway infrastructure, which was initially meant for the serving employees, were added by a large bulk of railway pensioners, which are triple larger than the serving employees. Obviously, it becomes a big burden on the railway hospitals, and the railway hospital cannot cope up with such huge rush, because over a period of time, our infrastructure of the railway hospital were not expanded, no big hospitals were made, no wards were increased, no post of doctors were created, no paramedical staff were created. So the infrastructure available for the serving employees were not sufficient enough to give justice or fair treatment to employees plus railway employees, which are more than 30 to 45 lakhs in number. So obviously the option remains to outsource the medical services, and accordingly they brought the policy matter that the railways can enter into a empanelment system. That means railway can tie up with a private hospital, and they can sign an agreement, and with some restrictions, some conditions and all, that I will come in my later part. So they are being permitted to empanel the private hospitals, and accordingly they have done empanelment throughout the railways. Now, what is the benefit of this empanelment is, now the people who are staying away from the railway hospitals, now suppose if any emergency comes, they don't have any option except to go to private hospital and pay the expenditure, and pay in terms of cash. And the more you are in a serious condition, the more will be the expenditure, the cost involved in that. So even if you take treatment in a private hospital, and even if you spend a whole lot of money for that, you can have the provision of claiming the reimbursement. But this reimbursement claim will be limited at the rate of CGHS. You may not get the whole money you spent in the hospital. Instead, you may get at the amount which is permitted under CGHS rate. That will be considerably low in most of the cases what we are finding is money you spend will be on a very higher scale, but the money what you reimburse, what the railway has reimbursed to you is far lesser than what you spend on the hospital. So suppose there is an empaneled hospital, and if instead of going to a private hospital, if you go to an empaneled private hospital, the entire treatment on emergency is being borne by the railways. Is borne by the railways. One need not pay a single penny for that. So that is one of the most positive aspects of this empanelment. Now the second part is you can also avail this OPD treatment at this empaneled hospital. But in such cases, you will have to pay the cost for OPD treatment at CGHS rate, which is almost, we can say, half of the hospital rate which they charge. So these two benefits, these two facilities are readily available at your place, at your districts, at your town, if there is an empaneled hospital exists there, working there. So this is the, we can say, one of the main feature. Now in my next video I will go much deeper into this agreement and this medical part and all everything. But these are the main features of this private empaneled hospitals. Now I will come to the to Ummeed card. Ummeed card. Now generally many of our people believe that what is the good of an Ummeed card? It is just a replacement of our old RRPWA card. But I definitely disagree with that, disagree with such views, and I will suggest, and we will suggest, that Ummeed card is must. Every medical beneficiary should carry an Ummeed card, and there are reasons for that. Now let us examine those reasons. What are those reasons which makes Ummeed card so important for medical beneficiaries? Number one, we can start with telling that it is very easy to carry. You know, the Ummeed card is like our ATM card. You can just keep it in our wallet or keep it in our pocket and move around, and it's no harm. It's very easy to carry. That is one part of it. Second is, each family member who are eligible for medical facilities from railway are given separate Ummeed card. Though in RRPWA card there is a provision of taking the Xerox copy of the card, and the dependent members of your family can avail treatment on the basis of this Xerox copy of the RRPWA card if they are out of the city. But again, in that case also, up to a period of 15 days such treatment will be permitted. But beyond that, one have to bring the original RRPWA card and show it to the concerned authority, without which we will not get treatment either in the railway hospital nor in the empaneled hospital. That was the earlier rule. But now that is being replaced with Ummeed card. Now anybody can go to this, take this Ummeed card and go to any hospital in any part of the India, and you can take the treatment. At least there is a restriction that you cannot go for a longer period of treatment. But as I told earlier, it will be easy to carry the Ummeed identity card, and every member is provided with each Ummeed identity card. Number 3 is the private hospital, rather the empaneled private hospital, considers only Ummeed card. They don't consider RRPWA card. If you want any benefit to be derived, as I explained you just before, either in case of emergency or in case of OPD, if a beneficiary want to derive any benefit from an empaneled private hospital, Ummeed card is a must. Without Ummeed card, they will not entertain any railway medical beneficiary. Now another important thing is, after there is a system going in place, and in fact it is being introduced in some of the railways, It's called Health Maintenance Information System. This system, once introduced in all over Indian Railway, the system will keep the entire medical history of a medical beneficiary. And if you are having an Umid card, and if you go to any hospital, railway hospital or empire hospital, and the moment you give them the Umid card, your entire medical history will be coming into the screen of the computer, and that will help the doctor to diagnose your problem and to treat your disease more easily and without any much of the test and all these things, because that help the doctor, because doctor when the doctor understand your background, your whole medical history, it will be very easy for him to diagnose your sickness and give the necessary treatment. So at the time of when the HMIS becomes operational, Umid card will play a very big role. So therefore, it is a must for every medical beneficiary. And finally, earlier when RELHS card was in practice, suppose we want to make any correction in this RELHS card, we have to make an application, go to the office, DRM office or wherever from where they issued this card, and give an application, get the name corrected in the card, and get the signature of the officer. And for the signature of the officer, sometimes we have to make 1 or 2 or 3 rounds to get simply the signature of the concerned officer, because he may not be available and all. So these were all the difficulties we were experiencing while we were issued this RELHS card. But with Umid card, one can edit all the information required from your home, from our home with a laptop or computer, or you can go to a private internet cafe and get all your changes in the card. Suppose if you want to add somebody in the card, or if you want somebody to delete from the card, all this can be done from sitting at my home in computer, in smartphone, or from going to a internet cafe without going to the officer or concerned or any other agencies. All what you have to do is you have to log in the site, you have to edit and then go for changes. That is all what you have to do. And then in such cases you have to upload the pension slip, the latest pension slip in the site. So this correction in the card becomes all the more easy after the introduction of Umid card. So what we will suggest is, Umid card is a must for everybody. When each beneficiary should carry the medical Umid card. Now in our railways, in Mumbai division especially, or in some other division also, we are requesting the railway administration to hold a medical camp in a particular station, and once they declare the camp, then we, the All India Retired Railwaymen's Federation, campaign for the success of this campaign. We go to the people, reach to them, explain them the need for getting the Umid card, and we see that these people come to the camp and register for Umid card, and eventually they get the Umid card. So our effort have given a good result. Wherever we gone for a camp, there was a lot of our beneficiaries, especially the pensioners who went to the camp, registered their name for Umid card, and our total number of Umid card holders were also gone high. It doesn't mean that the entire pensioners are being provided with the medical card, Umid card. There are still people who are not being issued, but things have started getting speeded up. So I will request all India Retired Railwaymen's Federation workers and office bearers to concentrate on this particular subject, get the medical camp, and before getting the medical camp, call our pensioners in your office or wherever you are meeting and advise them, explain the need for having a Umid card, and then go for a camp after talking with the administration, and see that our pensioners are attending the camp and registering for a Umeed card, which will be very, very useful for them in the long time to come. So these are the benefit of the Umeed card. Now, there are some drawbacks also. There are some problems which we are experiencing, especially in nominating or in empaneling the private hospital. There is a problem. What we are finding in overall perspective is at the headquarter or the division headquarter, we find lot of private hospitals are being empaneled. But as you go towards village side, you will find the number of empaneled hospitals getting drastically reduced, slowly getting reduced, and finally you will find there are a lot of places where there is no empaneled hospital. Recently, we have seen at Southern Railway in Trivandrum division, in Palakkad division, in Central Railway in Bhusavar division, in the entire this Konkan Railway belt. All these places, what we are finding is there is no private hospital empaneled. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean when there is no empaneled hospital? What does it exactly mean? It means that the privileges for which we are entitled, like treatment on emergency without cashless treatment on emergency and subsidized treatment on OPD, these are all our privileges because we have paid for that. We are the members of RRPWA scheme and this is our privilege. So what happens is when there is no empaneled hospital at your place where you are staying. So in other words, we can say we are being deprived of our privileges just because railway, the administration have not provided any empaneled hospital in our town. Though there are so many railway medical beneficiaries staying. So there have to be some criteria, some rationale have to be adopted. And what could be the rationale and what could be the criteria? I think it is the number of population of railway pensioners. That should alone be the criteria. So based on this criteria, I think railway administration should take initiative to find out the localities in various railways and should provide empaneled hospital in all the districts where it is not existing as of now. So that will help larger number of medical beneficiaries to come in the ambit of RRPWA scheme, and they may also able to derive the benefit advantage of this scheme. So this is one of the drawback which we have recently noticed. One more drawback which we have noticed recently is now this private hospital, when they are being empaneled, they are being told to produce as a performance guarantee check to the railway. And this earlier it was rupees 2 lakhs. I mean, the private hospital have to provide a check of 2 lakhs rupees as a performance guarantee check to the railways at the time when they are empaneled by the railways. Now this amount has recently jumped to 10 lakhs rupees. Now I don't know how the railway is going to benefit this sharp rise in 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs, because this money after all is refundable to the private hospitals. Now a big corporate hospitals may have no problem for 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20, 25, even 50 lakhs, they may not worry, they don't have any problem for that. But that is not the case with some of the small hospitals being run at interior part of our states. Now for example, I can quote you in Lonavala, there were 2 empaneled hospitals. Now after this hike of 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs, both these hospitals at Lonavala in Mumbai division of Central Railway has withdrawn from the empanelment, and they bluntly said, I'm sorry, we are unable to give such a huge cash as a performance guarantee check, because we are already treating the patients on credit basis, and on top of that we are unable to submit this check of 10 lakhs to the railways. So what is the result? The result is the thousands of employees, thousands of medical beneficiaries staying at Lonavala are deprived of the privileges. Now, if they have any emergency, they are left with no option except to pay from the pocket exorbitantly at the private hospital and get the disease treated. There is no other way. If they wanted to shift the patient from Lonavala to Pune, it's a long distance. It is not advisable. Neither they can come to the divisional hospital at Kalyan. That is also not advisable in an emergency. So finally what they are left is they have to cash it out from their pocket and give it to the private hospital. That means we are being deprived of the privileges of getting costless treatment and subsidized OPD treatment. So this is the crux of the whole entire issue. Now next video we will come deep into the agreement. We will take that agreement which is signed between railways and private hospital, and we will take all important issues contained in the agreement and we will discuss before you in the next coming videos. So that's all for today, my dear friends. I will request you to do comment, because your comment will help us to make changes in our this release of video, or rather the contents in the video, or if something error or something incomplete is being noticed, that may kindly be brought to our notice so that we can give you the necessary clarification on the matter. And you don't forget to share it and subscribe to the channel, and also while subscribing you press the bell button and also press the caption of all, so that you will get the notification of the video immediately when we release it, when we go into the air. So we will be coming with the another video, preferably in the next week or within 10 days positively. Until such time, goodbye. Thank you very much.